Obviously been here for a couple months. How do you feel like you've been able to get settled?
I mean, every day is a new day, but it's good people, great environment. So it's been an easy adjustment.
Coach Rogers is obviously someone that you had an existing relationship with. What made you want to come here and join his staff?
I mean, I followed him for a long, long time, probably about as long as I've been coaching, and I just I felt there was I've had an affection of how he's run his programs and really kind of how he's come up as a coach. Kind of similar backgrounds of both kind of working for legendary head coaches, and excited to see him kind of take what he's learned from how he's been groomed and kind of how he does it himself. So that was a huge reason.
You talked about having an admiration for the way that Coach Rogers runs his program. Curious what some of those traits are that you admire and that you respect.
I'll be honest. He came up under a old school dude, and I came up under an old school dude too. And really, obviously young, and things have changed, but there's still if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So I believe in the old school way of hard work and rewarding guys for hard work, and actually going through a process and not just kind of letting the times change the standard. So
what is the overall dynamic you want in your wide receiver room here at Iowa State?
Just competition, and really just a culture of guys working and helping each other, right? Really, that's the only way for us to be successful, right? Obviously, we all want the ball, but there could be 4 of us out there at a time. It's only one ball. So the selflessness has to be there, but really just the competition of wanting to be the best, and wanting to impact the game in a positive way. So.
You brought in a number of transfers. What were those players that you wanted to pursue and bring in here?
You said why?
Yeah.
The first thing you look for is good people, man. that's the first thing, because we spend a lot of time doing this, and I'm sure it's just like you want to hang around good people. So that was first and foremost, and I think that was right now, 100% like we brought in the right dudes, and that's across all the positions, and you can just tell being in the building, guys enjoy being around here. And to be honest with you, man, they bringing him here, it wasn't a tough sell at all. So.
How do you go about evaluating if the kids are the right type of personalities, the right type of people to bring into your program?
You got to do a lot of homework, a lot of research, talking to many of different people, and again, everything has to align. Obviously, what the coach says, how he's been brought up, you know what I mean, how the interaction is away from the building, on his turf, and then coming back and here, and if all things align, most of the time, as long as you know what you're getting into and the guy wants to work, wants to push himself to be better, usually there's no issues.
There was you guys brought in a lot of commitments from Washington State here down to Iowa State. They transferred their commitment.
Yep.
Do you guys plan on recruiting as heavy in the Midwest as this program has before?
Absolutely.
One thing that really impressed me about the way you guys built your roster and your room as well is the class balance between senior, junior, sophomore, freshman. What was the importance of that for you and your room specifically?
Honestly, that was something that you pay attention to a little bit. Really, it was about this 2026 season and making sure that we got the right people in here to be able to get this thing rolling. And then as you build in the room, obviously, especially coming from the receiver position, you want certain skill sets. You want certain personalities. You want guys that fit. You don't want all of the same type of guys. So I guess it kind of happens naturally. You want, everybody in the room, you want them to be a leader. for sure. But you want personalities that can gel and mesh together, again, to create that environment that you asked about earlier, just a competitive, selfless, willing to do whatever for the team.
You spent much of your career working in the South, of course, Houston, Tulane as well.
Yep.
Would you say that's where most of your connections are with high school coaches that you guys plan to pursue and recruit? And if not, how do you plan to go and build relationships in this region of the country as well?
Well, I'm from up north, right? Obviously, I've been down in the South for quite a while, but I'm originally from Cincinnati, so I've been up in this area, and I've coached a lot of ball in this area as well. Actually, got my start down. I've been all through the MIAA, and that's some old school recruiting where, you know what I mean? You actually had to put feet on the pavement, and it's actually been really cool to be back here for those couple weeks that we got in January to kind of go through and see some of the former players that I coached at those spots. I'm kind of getting old now, but those guys are coordinators and head coaches at these spots. So, I mean, there's plenty of relationships all over this country. And again, that's one of the good reasons to come here, is to be able to broaden that, but also kind of strengthen the relationships from some go as far as 15 years ago. So.
What are the relationships like with other offensive coaches in the room to maybe craft the exact playbook that you guys are going to work for this fall?
I mean, everybody is coming from a little bit different expertise, right? And I would say it like this: 90% of like football, honestly, is like, man, we all doing the same things, right? It's just how you term it, how as the coordinator, how does he plan to get to the things? But we're all pretty much doing the same things. But that other 10% is what really excites me. From everybody, from like Coach Thornton to from where he's come from, and the stops that he's been, Coach Heck in his kind of wide open spread passing game. Talking with Coach Rowe about like power. Like I thought I knew what power was, and then 3 days into this deal, like you realize, oh no, I don't know nothing about it. So like all of those, just getting that 10% from everybody, and kind of making this the Cyclone offense will be really special. And again, talk about the right dudes. From Coach Rowe and his leadership down to, I mean, I don't even know if you call them GAs anymore, but like them dudes are like solid humans, and everybody wants the best for each other. So talk about excitement is off the charts, just walking in this building every day.
Are there any individuals that you've brought in to play your receiver for you that you're particularly excited about, or you feel like can make an impact for you guys right away?
Man, every last one of them. Every last one of them. Half of them we lift this morning, and for some reason they must not like their home, because they just stay here and they work. So every last one of them.
Amari Hayes, someone coming in from Tulane with quite a bit of a positive track record. Him individually, what did you see about him on tape that made you bullish to pursue him?
Obviously, when you're watching tape, you're thinking of they got to have dominant traits, right? And at the receiver position, you want to see it translate. Okay, what's he doing on tape? He can come and do that for me right now. But obviously saw that with the speed and his playmaking ability and all those type things. But a lot of it is you see like a little dude, and you probably think he's a gadget dude, but he lines up. He lines up at all different spots. He's not afraid to get in there and do the dirty work, fold in there and go get a guy. Obviously, there's special teams value in there as well, but that's just a start of like what attracts you to a guy. Again, doing the homework and figuring out what type of dude he is, like that's really what seals the deal.
One thing I wanted to follow up with you on there, you talked about watching tape and seeing the type of traits. How important is production when you guys are recruiting kids out of the transfer portal?
I mean, is first and foremost, especially at the level we are and the position that we play. You know what I mean? Like it's a situation where you don't necessarily have to reach and kind of project too much. I know other positions you probably have to, but receiver, you can kind of see those traits and kind of be able to piece it together a little bit easier than other positions.
What's the split you look for when you're